more, and like he just had a string of bad like action movies. Like it was just clear he just wanted to do anything but think.
That feels like most of his career. Like when was there a section of
There's been some real think pieces in Bruce Willis's history.
Yeah.
I can't name them off the top of my head, but I know they're back there. Anyway, end of March, we are nearing 3 months of doing this podcast already this year. How's that feeling for you?
Awful.
Yeah, it's real bad keeping up on content and watching a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, rough at the moment. I don't
know. So did you get everything watched for this week?
I think so.
Did you finally get caught up on Alien Nest?
No.
I thought so. We got one episode left. It's wrapping up as soon as we wrap up with Legion 2, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I planned it that way. I got this stuff in sync, let me tell you.
I mean, I don't trust you, but I should at this point, obviously.
The problem is that I haven't watched more than 3 episodes of the show.
It's true. I thought we still had 3 episodes to go, but at the end of this last one, they were like, and watch the finale next week. I was like, son of a bitch. I didn't realize we were that far in. So, right on. Right on. Was there any new fantastic news stories you've seen this past week?
Just today, it broke that they're pushing both the X-Men movies again.
Pushing which X-Men? Like New Mutants and Dark Phoenix?
Yep.
Well, I thought they were always going to do those.
No, they got pushed back.
Oh, so we're not seeing Dark Phoenix at the end of this year?
Nope, they pushed it back till February of next year. And then New Mutants got pushed again until August of next year.
Because they got Deadpool coming out in May, right?
Yeah, which is doing reshoots right now.
Isn't that all that's on Fox's plate right now?
As far as I know. I have no idea what the fuck's going on with Fox. That they're like, we're going to announce all these new... Because like it was like 3 weeks ago, they're like, we're announcing more movies. More X-Men movies. Until Disney buys us, we're going to be making these movies. And now they're like, I can't
believe they're not pushing hard on that December date because it doesn't seem like anything's coming out on Christmas. Like Marvel or anything like that. So even Disney doesn't have a Star Wars this year.
They have Mary Poppins. That's Christmas.
Come on.
That's going to do big. It's going to be huge.
That's fair. I mean, it is Emily. Is it Emily Blunt?
Emily Blunt and Lin-Manuel.
Nice. Yeah, that'll fucking crush them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's just ridiculous that I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because New Mutants was we should have seen. I'm pretty sure New Mutants was supposed to be out already this year, and then they pushed.
Yeah, because didn't we get a trailer like last fall, right?
Yeah, and then they pushed it to early next year, and now they pushed it to late next year.
Huh. That seems a bit ridiculous. Because I mean, yeah, they should have it all shot by now. And the way they were promoting.
Well, they were going back for reshoots, which, like we talked about, I assume they were waiting for Maisie to be done with Game of Thrones.
That makes sense.
But
the way they were fucking promoting I guess they weren't really promoting Dark Phoenix. They were just showing off the Phoenix and Entertainment. So, yeah. The less we see of those movies, I'll be happy. But I'm sure Deadpool 2 is going to be doing great. And, well, it's got some stiff competition, but it's not going to not do well.
Who cares? That's what I say about that.
Who cares? Oh, yeah, you hate Deadpool. But you love Brolin.
No, I don't.
Don't you?
No. I'm fine.
What is this? What is this strange world I've crossed into? I thought you loved Brolin.
The most interesting thing about that movie is the director, but I'm just so tired of that stupid teaser trailer they've been playing for like the past month and a half.
Are you talking the one where Deadpool's playing with the toys?
Yeah, and even at this point today, like in the theater, a guy was just like, that looks great. And I was like, fuck off.
I can imagine them making a movie like that and everybody just falling in love with it. Like a couple $100 just to shoot playing with toys.
Yeah,
People
it's
love
just,
that shit.
I'm just like, no, thank you. I'm glad that people like it. I just do not. So that'll be a fun one to watch in a couple months.
I think that's really it. I can't think of any news that
I did just to warm your heart a little. I did see that John Cena has officially been cast as Duke Nukem.
I thought we were gonna glide across that and never have to mention it, but like, that's so that's out of everything that's been announced this year, that's the absolute most random. Like, why are they still why are they pushing so hard for video game movies?
Why are they pushing so hard for a Duke Nukem movie, which hasn't been relevant in 30 years?
At least, and like, I think they were making the last one for at least 15 years. Like, they kept promising it, and they're just like, we ain't got it. We ain't fucking got that.
Oh, they
and then it came out in like the worst climate. Yeah.
And just nobody and it was just bad.
Fucking A. So you want to just get into it? I think this might be a short one, but
yeah.
So Black Lightning.
Black Lightning? Is that what you said?
How you liking that? Black Lightning, Black Licorice.
I still like it. It's leaning into what it does well, which is the family dynamic stuff. So even though the episode was kind of slow, I felt like the individual scenes were really good with like the younger daughter trying to process what's going on with everybody and different levels. It's interesting to see a show that bucks the trend of almost all hero storytelling where like we need to hide the identity from my loved ones or they're going to get hurt, and they create this false drama through this thing that's not needed, whereas this show just kind of just fucking throws that away for the most part. And we're 10 episodes into the first season and fucking everyone knows at this point, so good job.
Which was funny. Like, I figured it would be like dynamics for like the next season. Like, I figured one of the daughters would find out by the end of the season, but like they've really just fucking gone for it this season, and I'm really excited. Like, I start every episode, I'm like, I'm not so much interested in superhero shows or anything like that right now, but it's got me hooked within like 5 minutes. Like, it really just starts and just kicks it off and keeps building every episode. So it's like, yeah, I'm loving it.
But I find that statement a lie from you that you're not interested in superhero shows when I know you just have like the biggest hard on over Legion.
That's fair.
But no, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah. But yeah, no, I like it. It just everyone's really strong when they need to be in that show. Like at times, I'm kind of like I write off certain characters until they give them a moment. Like in this week's episode, where the mom talks to the younger daughter, and she's literally just like explains why she feels the way she does, and it's like such a powerful scene. I was like, I didn't know she could go to those depths, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's crazy. Also, like the whole dynamic with Gambini, like I think at this point we're trained to wait for those reveals, like near the end of the season, and there's like maybe a half hour passes, and then they're like, boom, reveal, boom, reveal. Like every episode has a good 2 or 3 reveals. Like, it's interesting to see how this whole community has developed the last 30 years, and like all that's coming into focus now, like nearing the end of the season.
Yeah, but I do feel if there's one downside to that, it's we kind of lose focus on the villains and what they're doing a lot of the time. Like it's weird that we're this late into the season and we have an episode that freaking Lala and Tobias are not even in at all, you know?
Yeah, I don't think we've seen Amy Tobias for the last 2 episodes, and Lala's only been in briefly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's really wild. It was interesting to see the them go after the green light warehouse type thing, and the couple dirty cops and whatever. It kind of there was that one hard cut where he's taking photos, and it felt like he got smashed in the back of the head, and like they just cut it there.
I didn't catch that, so that's good on you. What I find weird about that sequence was when they're in the lab, and then they're like attacking the ASA guards or whatever, and then the building blows up. I was like, they just leave all those knocked out guys in there and let them.
I mean, yeah, that's what you do. They were doing they were making drugs, so they're bad people. Bad people have to be dealt with. So yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I still dig it. I think there's 3 episodes left?
I think so, yeah. So
fair enough. So, Alienist it's still ramping up. I'm excited to see the finale.
How is it still ramping up?
Because they threw a couple curveballs these last 2 episodes. Like, they've taken a couple people out of the limelight. Mm-hmm. So, like, a couple of the back characters have had to come up to the foreground. So, it's interesting. I'm excited to see the finale. Then did you watch Krypton?
Yeah, I watched Krypton.
What'd you think of it?
It's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it's completely like removed from any kind of story or setting that I want to spend any time on, if that makes sense. Like, I don't care about Krypton 200 years ago. Sorry. Like,
it's odd how DC and it's how they attack their different properties, because with DC, it feels like you have a good sense of what's going on, and they almost talk down to you. With Krypton, I felt like they were doing that heavily, because I don't know anything about Superman or his lineage or anything like that, and especially Krypton. But I saw that it was about his grandpa and figured it would be kind of interesting, and it's interesting per se, but not enough to like make me want to give a damn.
Yeah, no, like it's sad when I'm like, you got Brainiac, but I really don't care, so sorry guys.
And I have no idea who these people are, so it's just like
but no, it's weird. It seems like such a hodgepodge of so many other shows that I'm not sure what to really make of it. And there's parts I'm just like, is this supposed to like be intriguing, or like it's just like, oh man, fucking Superman's grandpa's banging General Zod's grandpa. Am I supposed to, or grandma? Like, am I supposed to be? Oh no, you can't do that. Your grandkids are gonna fight each other. Oh, like I'm like, I don't know what we're doing with the show. I really don't know.
So you're saying we're not going to continue watching it?
I'm complete. Like, no, I'm good. But
all right, it's off the list. Fuck it. One less app I have to deal with.
Like, some of it looked like that shot of like Brainiac's ship and like Brainiac taking over and stuff, like, was super cool. It looked good. And then other times I was like, ooh, that's the fakest Rockwall set I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but you know, it's like a lot of that.
But like, if you look at it, it's like at the end of this episode, what the fuck, Sep, whatever these people all have the worst names ever.
Yeah.
His parents are dead. He's an orphan. He's the last of the L's. He has a fortress of solitude. It's like, just tell a Superman story if you want to fucking tell a Superman story. Don't put all these identifiers of Superman on this person because you can't tell the story you want to.
Yeah, there were some really odd things about it too, like them all having different crests for their family names and whatnot. It really
No
feels
different than
like
like
Superman drew the like the worst, like just an S. Like it's just so lame compared to the other ones we're seeing.
it means hope. Come on
Yeah,
now.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Write hope on a badge because that S doesn't mean hope.
It does in Krypton.
It's also weird that it seems like they're using like the logo and stuff from like it feels very connected to that
No, it doesn't.
storytelling. That S
That
with the
S.
extra filigrees.
It's always been like that. What? What? I don't know. There's stuff in there that like I'm kind of intrigued by, but I'm like I don't want to give it any time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like the voice of Rao with the many-faced helmet thing. Like I want to know what the fuck's going on with that guy, but I don't care about to give it any time.
It's almost to the mark where I want to give it attention, but it's like, you know what? We can be done with it. That's fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I don't know, some of it like
it's just gonna be another like bait and switch type of show, and it's just
it's got Brainiac though. It's got Brainiac.
You know who that is? I have no idea.
Sad days that we've seen how many iterations of Superman, and you don't know who Brainiac is. But
when was Brainiac in anything DC related?
I'm not saying that's on you. I'm saying that's on.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Is he a big villain?
Yeah, he's probably like behind Luthor and Zod. He's probably like Superman's biggest villain.
Huh. I mean, he has a cool fucking ship.
Yeah, he has a giant skull ship, and fucking he's green and he wears fucking like purple, and he's got robot tentacle things, and he shrinks cities down and keeps them in a bottle to fuck with people.
That's what I was gonna wonder. That's what I was wondering. Like, is he just collecting shit that's just like this big, or like that makes sense?
Yeah, so like Superman would be like, "I'm gonna stop you, Brainiac," and Brainiac was like, "I have the city of Kandor in this bottle, and I'll fucking kill every Krypton in it if you don't fucking back off, Superman." He's like, "Okay, I gotta back off."
Who else? Who's the other guy? The guy from Detroit, the Strange.
Oh, Adam Strange. He's a very obscure fucking DC hero.
I couldn't not think Warlock or Doctor Strange.
Well, I thought you were thinking Adam Warlock, the Marvel superhero in space. I don't know. He's got a really weird costume. You should look at it. It's really weird when he has a gun and he rides theta waves and he can travel through space on theta waves. And I think he was fucking an alien princess. It's been a long time since I ran across Adam Strange.
All right, we're cutting it off the list. No dice. No Krypton.
No dice. If it changes, somebody will let us know if anyone's watching it.
Did you watch anything else? Like, did you see Unsane?
I held off on Unsane since you couldn't see it. I'll probably catch it this weekend because I didn't want to rush through. But I did see an indie movie.
What's that?
Thoroughbreds.
Who's that with?
It's got Anna Joy Taylor, the chick she's the main girl in Split.
Okay.
And it's one of like Anton Yelchin's last movies before he died.
That's how I know it.
Yeah, directorial debut from a playwright. It's interesting. I'm not sure. There's there's the mid lane, and it could have veered into the left or right at any time and possibly been more interesting, but it kind of stays in the one lane. And I don't know, like it could have been like this really dark humor movie, like dark comedy. And it flirts with that at times. And it could have been also a really just like dark movie about psychotic teenagers. And it almost gets there at times too, but for the most part, it kind of stays in the lane that's least offensive or interesting.
Kind of plays it safe. That makes sense.
Kinda. For a movie about like a teenage girl who doesn't feel emotions and her friend trying to manipulate her into murdering her stepdad, it kind of stays in the mid lane.
Seems very mid lane. So on to Legion, still just fucking rocking my world.
Yeah,
these 2 episodes were awesome as shit.
Just Magic Man touching you all the time.
Goddamn, Audrey Plaza is a jewel for the world.
I told you. Why do you think I've been saying this?
I mean, I agreed, but I never gave it the time of day that it demanded. Because she is phenomenal.
Yeah, between this and like I always loved Parks and Rec, and I loved her on that. And then I saw this, and I was like, oh no, she can do a lot more than just these comedy stuff she's given. No,
it's so good. It's so goddamn good. I always tip off Twitter that it's like time to watch these episodes, and I'm like, you should be watching too. And I always pick like the perfect GIF that somehow relates to that I haven't seen yet, and it was Audrey Plaza in the black and white. And I was like, God damn, fucking let me like
that's one of my favorite GIFs to use with one of my friends. Is just like when she puts the gun to her head and shoots, and then the other two do it. Yeah,
so good. You have that dance sequence. It's kind of a role reversal and like a mind fuck, and like that it's Lenny Benny manipulating all their memories and like pulls them in. So it's like you're trying to grasp what's really real, if any of it's real. Like it's such a fucking trip. I'm glad we did both these episodes this time and not separate weeks, because I don't know. That would have been a fucking hard one to hold off on.
Trust me, I know how I programmed these weeks. I got that.
But yeah, it worked so awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like, I'll interject a little, but I just want to hear you talk because I've soaked this show up so much. But like, not the first episode's fine. There's some stuff in there I really like, but like that ending of the 7th episode is so like. Once it goes into like, it almost is like that that Inception thing where there's like 3 different levels of reality and it's all playing out at the same time, and one of them is a black and white silent horror movie. It's just like, what is this show and why does it know everything I want before I know I want it?
Yeah, I mean that's perfect. It's great because you see Lenny overtaking. I can't think of his name. David. Finally overtaking him. Like, you see it in the last episode we watched where he's, like, cowering from the yellow-eyed demon. And, like, then it starts off this episode and Lenny's the psychiatrist talking to all these people. So you're unaware if they've been here the whole time and these have just been psychotic episodes. And then Sid starts seeing some weird stuff, and it's still that scene where they enter the room and they don't have feet, and then they get in the bed. Like, that fucking scene fucks with my head so goddamn much. Yeah, and then it's just walking through, like, little nuances and seeing little things, and then Oliver comes to save the day for the most part.
Yeah, Jermaine comes back.
Yeah, it was all interesting.
the scene in episode 7 with Jermaine and Carrie and the Ice Cube, pure gold.
Oh, yeah.
When he's just
absolutely.
It was like, is my wife, I want to say, Chinese.
Nope. Is she Japanese? She's not Asian of any kind.
No. And then he's like, what's the word I'm looking for? Dishes? No, that's not right.
That whole scene was perfect. And then you see him, the teams divulge, and like Sid saving Carrie, and then the other Carrie, Melanie, and Oliver, like going to where time has stopped, and like they're about to get shot, and like all this crazy shit. I forgot who the one guy was that was ripped apart in the upstairs.
The one who
hallway?
was stabbed? Rudy?
Yeah. And then I remembered when they were carrying him on the stretcher, like he was the one that like led them to find David at the end.
Yeah, he was like the telekinetic. He was throwing the door and shit. He took him to D3 too. Yeah, no. And like, I love this show so much. Like,
it's really fucking great.
Like, I mean, like, Oliver is literally conducting and making a shield around them out of the words shield. Like, it's so bizarre and beautiful, and I love it.
It's too good.
Let's see, what do we got? We get David meeting his rational self.
It's true. The chalkboard scenes was pretty fucking cool. They did give a glimpse of the X wheelchair.
They did, and when on the chalkboard, his dad didn't have hair either.
Psychic power fight. Was that basically how it went down? Like, that's how I'm guessing we're still going to get some more of them since we saw Lenny at the end of 7. Yeah, and then Division 3 came and showed up with the one dude.
With the guy from the first episode. Now horribly, horribly burnt.
So yeah, I'm loving everything about that. Like, I'm so excited to get to season 2. Like, I keep after dodging all of the trailers that I see since I'm starting to talk about Legion, and like the internet's like, "Oh, you like Legion? Well, here's everything about." I'm like, knock it off for just another week, and then I can dive all over you. So,
it'll be good.
So excited.
The only thing I'm gonna say for next week's episode is there is a credit scene.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this one leads. I have a feeling David's gonna have to slip off his helm and just fucking go all out. Possibly either here, or since like Lenny has a little peeky window, I'm sure she can use her power just enough to have him slip off the helm and release her or something like that. So I'm excited. I'm sure we'll see Sid in action, but this episode was so strange because it felt like it was wrapping up everything, and then Division 3 showed up. Still a big fight that's going to happen, I'm sure. It was crazy to see the eye get crunched up like he did.
Yeah, but we got to see him be real fucking creepy for like 2 episodes.
It was real fucking creepy. It was cool seeing that he could. I don't necessarily think he was restrained at all by Lenny. Like, I felt like Lenny knew that he was a bad dude and was just going to let him run rampant until he didn't need him anymore. So it was cool. But to see his little body cripple up like it did, that was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah, a little bit.
When he spun around and caught the bullets, I was like, oh, well, he's gonna be just like his father. He should be crippled from a gunshot. And then he pulled the bullets out. I was like, classy move, David.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm the magic man. You should just say that after everything.
I do. I still say that he's the magic man. He's my Magic Man. So, yeah, I'm excited about next week for sure, seeing the finale.
All I'll say is I did see a trailer for season 2, and Sid leaned into his ear and was like, "Are you the Magic Man?" And I was like, "No, it's gonna like that."
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, I mean, that only feeds into the thing that where Sid and David have gotten so connected that their personalities are overlapping. So where I'm sure if Lenny gets out, he could probably jump on to Sid's psyche. So it'd be cool. The chalkboard drawings of the monster fight, that was pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that. And then that's David's real voice, Mr. British, hiding it with that great American accent all the time.
I thought he was just making fun of Oliver because he thought Oliver was smarter than him. That's funny, though. So, did you enjoy Pacific Rim?
No.
Not at all?
Nah. I don't know. Like, if you were to be like, let's watch a movie where giant robots fight giant monsters, I'd be like, fuck yeah. And now I've gotten 2 of these, and I was like, this shit's not good. What is going on? And that hurts my inner child a little.
All right, that first one's phenomenal because there's lots of monster fighting. This
There
one's
is
less
not.
so.
There's like 2 monster fights in the first one.
No, you get Knife Head, you get fucking Leatherback, and then the big fight at the end when they're underwater.
Whatever, man. Can we talk about the most interesting part of this movie?
By all means.
And that's the scene where, like, Charlie Day's coming home talking to his wife, listening to Foreigner, and all of a sudden you realize he's fucking a kaiju brain? Because what? That's when I was like, I perked up a little at that moment. I was like, what are we doing, movie? What's going on here?
I felt we were very off the rails at that point, and I was just like, all right, I guess this is where we are. Because it was really strange that he invited Newt over to see her. Fucking weird.
But, like, I don't know. Like, I felt a lot of the first movie was, like, setting up this world. A lot of world building in a way that I felt was detrimental to the film, but it did it. Whereas in this one, all of a sudden, like, shit just happens and I'm not sure what happens. It's just like, hey, our drone robots turn into monsters. And then I got some kind of weird rat bipeds on the street that fuse 3 monsters together.
I can say that since I skipped the teaser, like the trailers, like I'm so glad I did because when that scene happened, I was like, that's fucking rad. And like everybody was upset because they'd seen it in the trailers. But also, I saw when the giant motherfucker was climbing up the hill because I thought it was awesome. Because it was very noticeable that was him because he had a giant fucking hooked jowl climbing up the mountain. I was like, where the fuck? Oh, that's going to be the end fucking scene. Nice trailer. Like, nice stupid teasers on the internet. Like, I fucking hate them. I hate them all.
You're so angry because what? You saw a monster on the mountain and that ruined something.
No, but I mean that's the end scene. Like that's what it was. Goal was like once it was announced. Like that's where it was headed. Like I was like, well, I fucking know that he gets through the city at least now. So
well, okay,
just minor nuance.
The problem is when you're selling a movie about giant robots fighting monsters and there's one monster fight in the fucking movie, like, what are you going to try and sell it on?
I agree. It was cool seeing Obsidian. It was weird seeing Obsidian Fury because he was a much polished version of Gypsy Danger, and like they just had the one. Like, no idea how it was built or anything like that, but
it doesn't matter because it doesn't make sense. There we go. There's the answer. Like, in the first movie, they're like, the Jaeger problem is it costs too much money. They're of no use. We need to shut it down. Now you're telling me 10 years after we've seen the last kaiju, we still have a fully functioning Jaeger unit all over the world? Makes no sense. Why? Why
makes
do we?
perfect sense.
No, it
Because
doesn't.
they might be back. You can't be prepared. I mean, you have to be prepared for that shit.
No, it's ridiculous. Like, if you're like, don't care. Let's just move the story along. Don't care.
Yeah, it was a lot of waiting. If what you're saying about the first one, I felt heavily for this one. It just feels like it's setting up a third movie, and like there's some payoff. That I love that whole fight at the end, but it was a lot too late. Like, we spent the first hour just getting to know these characters.
The problem that I have with the end fight is the right as like they're landing in Tokyo, it's just like, the city has been evacuated, everyone's underground, it's okay to fight. And it's just like,
smash that shit.
Listen. Everyone had those complaints about Man of Steel because Superman as a character morally would not fight in the middle of Metropolis. Not every movie has to be like, we've magically removed everyone so you can feel okay watching these skyscrapers get toppled.
Bingo, bingo. Yeah, but you saw the zones in the first one where they would go when kaiju's attacked.
I know. That's why I'm saying it's weird that in this one they're like, everyone's underground. We've evacuated.
Fair. But if they release a fucking Scrapper toy, I'm gonna fucking get that thing.
Of course you are, you idiot.
Scrapper is so much fun. Come on.
The movie is, it's functionally fine. But I still say fuck anyone who slobs all over that first movie. It's not good either.
You're ridiculous. You're just a heartless child. No way, that first one's a shit ton better than this one because you have all the reveals of Gypsy and everything. Like, they actually come together to fight with Gypsy. When this one, they're just like, everybody can fucking pair with everybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
You're a fucker. I don't know. It felt like this is setting up a third movie, and it just wasn't enough to. If you were excited about this movie, I'm sure you already saw it, but I have a hard time recommending it to people that are wondering if it's better than the first one, because it's definitely not. Not by a long shot.
No, but it's just as good as the first one, and that's not good. That's what I'm saying. But it does that same thing I was bitching about during season 2 of Jessica Jones, where all of a sudden we do this revisionist history of like, really, you're going to tell me that everything that went on in the first movie and Mako and Pentecost never like, what about our son and my brother? Never going to talk about that? That's not how life works. Sorry.
But to be fair, I'm pretty sure it was Boyega that shoved so hard to get this movie made, so of course you're going to see him take the spotlight.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, at no point did him being Pentecost's son really amount to anything outside of people being like, oh, you're his son? And the movie does that really cheap thing where, like, it's like, we're just going to use footage from the first movie to pad out this movie.
Yeah. That's fair. I liked it enough. I don't know. I'm really on the fence with this one. So,
and also, like, casting alert for everyone, Charlie Day does not do well as a villain. Sorry, doesn't work.
He definitely does not. Did you like I Killed Giants?
Nope.
You're just a monster. So I Killed Giants was just released last weekend. You can get it rented on Amazon. I don't think I've seen it in theaters around here anyway. Maybe you have it in Des Moines, but
no, it was a very limited if you got one.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this a hell of a lot more than I did Pacific Rim.
Why?
And I figured you would too. It because it rides that ambiguous line, like you don't know if she's actually crazy or if she's actually protecting these people, and then the story that wraps around all of that idea, was just cool to me. Although I'm pretty sure she set fire to a train station or train
see, that's
junkyard.
the thing. Like the way the film's structured, they don't do the reveal until almost the exact end, when it's just like it's a metaphor for her mom's sickness. But I felt I got that a lot quicker than the movie wanted me to figure it out, and I spent the whole movie going, this is a very disturbed child who needs help before someone gets really hurt, and instead everyone's just indulging her fantasies. And I didn't quite enjoy it, so.
That's fair. That's fair and accurate. It's made me want to check out the graphic novel. Did you read Joe the Barbarian?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, because I've heard it's similar ideas about this, so I'm interested to check both of those out.
Well, I don't know. Like, isn't that what was it? When a Monster Calls? Isn't that like the exact almost same premise? Like teams up with a monster instead of fighting monsters? Like, isn't that almost
I haven't watched it.
Well, I haven't either, but it's based on a book, and I know that as well. But like the kid's mom dies of cancer, and then he has a monster tree monster giant come help him get through things. It's kind of I don't know. I'm not trying to say this shit's derivative, but no, it's okay. But no, like you said, in the end, well, one, at no point did I see a blurred line. I knew it was fantasy because they do that thing where no one is ever around for it except for her. So, as soon as the friend walks off frame, all of a sudden there's a monster behind her. It's always exactly after everyone leaves. So she's clearly in a disassociated from reality. But she's doing some she sets that train yard on fucking fire. She's leaving giant weighted traps around the fucking forest that could hurt and catch any and just no one seems to really give a shit. Even the sister's oh, you're gonna run away? Okay. See ya. Bye.
Yeah. I mean, there's parts that were annoying, the brother and sister relationship. I think you hit it on the head when you this is just a deeply wounded child that needs some definite attention. But nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, even listen, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm a school psychologist would know, but I'm pretty sure if I was trying to have a therapy session with a child and they lashed out and started slapping me, I'd do a little more than nothing.
It's fair.
Or when she shows up at the door of the psychologist and is you're gonna die. Everyone's gonna die, but I feel I'm broken inside. Not gonna do anything. There's so many times the kid is trying to get help. But everyone's just kind of fuck off, kid. I got my problems. So I don't know. I feel there is a audience for this film. This is something that something when people our age attached to Donnie Darko, this tale of this troubled kid our age and what could be going on with him, and told through this fantasy lens. I think there's an audience out there for it. I'm just probably not it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's weighted more heavily towards a D&D type RPG fan, where they're living these fantasies out in real life, and nobody around them gives a shit. So I don't know. I'm surprised you didn't like that then, jerk.
Nah. Fuck you, man.
I could also see like the issues of issues, like this novel broken up into sections where you have the you have the issue where you find out about the Warhammer, and like you have the issue of her finding a friend that won't say no for anything, and then you have these failed attempts at crushing this creature in the forest, and like I'm very interested to check out the graphic novel based on this that this movie was based on. So.
Well, it was based on a limited series, not a graphic novel.
I mean, you are.
Get your fucking comic book and terminology right, nerd.
Touche. So I think that does it for this week. What are we watching for next week then?
Well, just I was thinking, when I'm glad we added something to this week, because I was really just like, not everything needs to be reviewed. Not everything has something to say about it. And I was like, I ain't got much to say this week. So, so yeah, we might be going shorter on some of these weeks where there's not a lot going on or depth to certain things. But for next week, we're finishing Legion.
Mm-hmm.
I might try to get caught up on the Alienist, so we can do kind of a season overview. We'll see. If you think you're going to get on Sane this weekend at all?
I think it'll come around to the point where I'll be able to see it.
Okay, I know I'm going to see it this weekend, but I'll leave that up to you. But the big theatrical release is Ready Player One. Which
oh shit, that's this week?
Yeah.
You've read the book though, right?
Nope.
Fuck yeah.
Have you?
Going into completely blind. I'm excited because this happened with Wrinkle too, and we both enjoyed it. So
true. I'm really curious because reviews are all over the place for this one.
I'm much like they were for Wrinkle too. So
but speaking of a book I did read that has an adaptation, new AMC TV series called The Terror started last night. You don't even know what it's about.
I saw it on the watch list and I was like, it's going to be a horror movie. Shit, something.
Do you want me to tell you what it's about?
Yes.
It is a historical, fictionalized version of the two ships that left to find the Northwest Passage through the Antarctic, and they get stuck up in there. And it's like set in the 1400s, and it's about these two ships trying to survive in this very harsh condition. The ship is literally. Oh, it's a true story.
Oh, okay. So we're not.
And the ship
is the thing.
And the ship was called the Terror. It's the Terror and the Cerberus.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So, but it dropped the first 2 episodes. So.
So I don't know. Did you see the Siren commercial for Black Lightning?
Nuh-uh.
It's on Freeform, and I don't know if that's free or anything, but I kind of am interested because it's mermaids.
We did the lure. We did the mermaid show.
I don't know. This one looks a hell of a lot better than that.
Why?
And not a musical.
So it's a mermaid show without the musical or the gore? Why would I be excited for that?
No, I think there's gore, for sure.
No, I've never heard of it. The only thing I've heard of Freeform for is that's where the Cloak and Dagger show is going to be premiering in a couple months. And isn't Freeform what used to be ABC Family?
I think so. So that shoots me in the foot. That's weird that they would get Cloak Dagger and. Interesting. I'll have to look into it more. So for sure, Ready Player One, The Terror, Legion wrap up, Alienist wrap up probably. Did you say anything else? Oh, Unsane if I can get to it, but we'll probably talk about it regardless. So
yeah, because I'll be keeping it. So
righteous.
Cool.
I think that's it.
Get the fuck out my face, people. Get
We'll
gone.
catch you next week. Later.